Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here to a special Monday night live stream here at Publicly Buzzed. I've got Ali Motta back here. Going to be a good show. Share this out. Hit the like. Really helps us out. We have a drone investigation. We're both really interested in this. Along with the rest of the freaking world, what is going on, not only in New Jersey, in New York, but around the country and maybe even around the world. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. Let's rock.
Let's rock.
Hello, everybody. I'm in space. I'm in space right now. What is up? Welcome in here. Botrix even made it in today. Like to see that, Botrix. Get your shit together here. Nice to see. Yeah, everybody, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. And yeah, like I said earlier, hit the old like. It helps us out. Share it out on X. And what the hell is going on? And to help me try to figure that out, I've got a very special guest, and the first time ever appearing on Publicly Buzzed, Ali Motta. So let's get her in here. What's up, Ali?
Hey, Steve. Hey, all.
What are you doing? Look at these fucking drones in here right now.
Holy shit.
What the fuck's going on in here?
Dude, my kids Cameron actually went on a drone hunt yesterday, I think it was. She spotted an orb. And
But seen something.
she saw something, but, you know, she's very upset that I, butt what she saw because I was like, were you seeing with your eyes what you saw on the camera? Because, yes, this, ball of light got bigger, got smaller. And she's like, no. And I was like, oh. And she's like, what do you mean? Maybe the camera can see some sort of light frequency that my eyes can't see.
Yeah, dude, and it's all really, you know what, this actually brings up one of the first great points is how easy it is to, because we are in sort of a mass hysteria type situation, right? Everybody's freaking out, everybody's looking up in the sky, everybody's trying to, but you can also make yourself see stuff if you want to bad enough, right?
Yeah, and I'm one that's always looking at the sky, so I am not surprised by, wait a second, I've never seen that. I'm like, I've seen that before, and I would decide that was nothing.
Yeah, and I'm the same, man. Before we even get into any of the really what's kind of happening here, I want to start off with, do you have any UFO stories? Do you have anything that's happened to you that's weird, kind of unexplainable from the sky?
Well, I can only remember this one time that I was sitting at my parents' house, and like I said, I'm always looking at the sky, so people are like, oh yeah, Allison's just seeing things in the sky again. And I was like, Dad, turn around. He was walking with his back towards his whole property towards the house, and I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, Dad, turn around. And all I can remember is how irritated I was that my father, out of spite, he would not even turn around and look at whatever
what the hell
I was seeing. He's like, it's just,
this could be the second coming of Christ right now, and he would have not known.
Right. And there's probably another story that I'm not remembering, but nothing earth shattering. But I've definitely seen things, and I called one in once and was like, is anyone else seeing anything? Because I always doubt myself, because like I said, I'm always looking at the sky.
Yeah.
And then one time I really did, because we live near a small airport, so I am adept at small planes can look like a freaking orb, a spaceship. They can look like they're shooting all over the place, because something about how the light's reflecting off them in one moment versus the next.
Whoa.
So I've gotten a little bit oh shit, what was that? And then kept looking and watching, because I was in the car and realizing, okay, that was just a small plane that really for a second looked like a UFO.
Whoa, yeah. The only thing I have at all is probably 20 years ago, me and some buddies were hanging out on a mountain, drinking a little bit, next to this sort of waterfall area, but we were really high up, and up there there's no light, there's no other distortion, so you're just seeing the night sky. It was a pretty night, no clouds, and all of a sudden we do see something kind of trucking across the sky, and we're also even bullshitting, oh, well, could that be something? We're also not putting that in, the reality of maybe that's a UFO, right? But all of a sudden, it just darts off at what they say, supersonic speed, the speed of light. It's just gone. So we did have a moment of just holy fuck, what the hell? So we actually just start going back to chilling. The freaky part that made us really go, what the fuck? Probably 2-3 minutes. I don't have no way of actually telling you time frame wise, but a little bit later, not very much longer, here comes a freaking helicopter right behind it. you know. And I was like,
Wow.
holy shit, this is like probably the army coming after it, right?
Right.
So that
I mean,
was
a lot of people say that after they see something unexplainable, it's followed shortly thereafter by a helicopter or a military plane or something.
that's
So that's
all. That's the
wild.
only thing that I have that's sort of weird, you know, and it's even super. It's minimal, right? So,
Right.
but what the fuck is going on in really all over the place at this point, dude? It's literally all over the country, and I'm seeing it even around the world. Anomalies happening.
I mean, you have to tell me when you want me to tell you what me and the Bob saw 2 nights ago.
Okay, yeah, we'll go in there, and I've got some pictures up here that you sent me as well. Is that what we're referencing?
Yeah, but I don't know
Okay.
if you want me to do that now or you want to
No,
start
we'll
with
go right
something else.
into it. Yeah, I've got them
Okay.
up here.
So we're on our way. We were driving to pick up Scarlett at volleyball, and then headed out to Bob's sister's for Bob's birthday. So this was on Bob's birthday. This was the 13th. So I'm telling the guys how often I see. I'm like, I didn't realize how many small planes I see. Like when we get up, basically sort of like where we are with this picture here. And this is the second thing that we saw. And it was like you can see street lights and all of that, but and I doubt you can see my mouse, but it's like the four little like it makes an X. Yep,
Yeah,
those.
these up here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
that's the
were
first thing I noticed that was strange about the picture was how high up they are, right? Because I mean, you got the street lights, you can kind of see where that is,
right.
and I mean, these aren't they don't look like stars to
No,
me. I
they
mean,
they
you would
they
see other.
definitely were not, and that it was in such a strange formation. So, and then the other picture was actually before this when we saw, and you have to like zoom in on it to even see it because it came out like the like little squiggles. So there were seven of them, and they're those little. Now they look like squiggly candy canes in the image, but they were all right there. And like
And
that one that your like mouse is up right now is further from the others, but they were all so close to each other that the guys were like, "What are you talking about? Those are definitely drones." And I was like, "I don't know. I thought maybe they were." Like before I was paying attention to how close they were, like little planes, and they're like, no, those are effing drones.
that's
So
crazy. And
we
the way
were
they
like,
came out in the picture is weird as hell.
yeah, they
Coming
just
out
look,
looking like little hooks.
yeah, they just looked like little dots at the time, and those are like different than the five, obviously, that we saw later. So by the time we see the five, now I'm calling dispatch. I'm like, I'm not going to dial like 911. I'm going to call dispatch. And I couldn't find where I stored like the tri area dispatch number. So I just called the Batavia police, which is the town that we were in by the time we got to the five. And they transfer me to the police department. I'm like, well, has anyone called about what looks like all these drones in the sky? And they're like, no, where are you? What street are you at? What intersection are you at? And they like asked me a bunch of questions. And then, and the Bobs are screaming, just step outside of the station and look up at the fucking sky, for God's sakes. Cause they kept asking me where they were. And Bobby, I'll just call them Bobby and Bob for now. Bobby was like, just tell them to walk outside and look up. And then Bob Sr. just kept screaming, walk out and look up, for God's sakes. What the hell are you talking about? So then
Wow.
I do like a little bit of like research, and I see that Batavia, for example, has a drone technology that they use. And so I was researching their drone technology, and it says that they're supposed to call one dispatch. I did that. And then the DuPage Police Department. So I called the DuPage I'm sorry, DuPage Airport to find out. And I asked them, hey, is Batavia or any other neighboring police department and employing their drone technology this evening? Has anyone reported that to you? And now this guy's asking all sorts of questions. Like he was so intrigued. And then the Bobs were starting to get irritated. Bob's like, all right, I'm done with this by now, but I'm on the phone, like answering the guy's question about how high up they are. And then like,
Wonder if
so
that guy had already been getting calls, or he's just
right,
like
I'm the
personally
first
interested.
call that either person had gotten, like the first call that anybody had gotten. He's like, did you see any, I don't know if he used the word structure, but he was asking about like structure under the light. And I was like, now I have to think. I'm like, I don't think so. I think I just saw the light. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I did see something, and I couldn't like remember. And then he asked me like how close together they were. Um, and then when I was like, I told him we turned down this other street and saw a ton. He was like, okay, when you say a ton, you mentioned the seven, you mentioned the five. Is the ton more than that? And I was like, no, probably not. But it was like behind the trees, and there was like one really, really low that looked a little yellower and brighter. I can't even remember all the questions he asked me, but he asked me, I was on the phone with him a while until Bob B was getting so irritated. He's like, all right, hang up
Oh,
already.
wow.
Enough. But I mean, I expect me to be like, oh my God, I'm seeing something weird. But when both the Bobs were like, holy shit, those are definitely not planes. There's no way those are planes. The flight pattern's not right. They're way too close together. It's definitely drones. What the hell is going on?
Because
So
everyone that does see them, they seem to have the same story, as in there's multiple of them together, right? Like 4 to 5 together. They're flying kind of in unison as well.
yeah, these definitely changed formation and were flying in unison. And then there was a couple that I did not even take a picture of that the Bobs were both like, all right, those are more like in a flight pattern. They're just further apart, and they didn't have any what we could see like any blinking lights like the red and the green on any of them. And my Bob just thought, he's like, well, at this point, this is just everybody and their mother now just putting their drones up in the air to see what they can see, or people screwing around. Like,
Speaking of that, I did just see two people got arrested. I forget where exactly. It probably wouldn't be hard to find, but for doing drones near an airport, trying to fly their. No, what's crazy about that is like everything we've been hearing over the last weeks, really heavily the last week. Been hearing all this stuff. We haven't heard anything close to this, right? Somebody actually being arrested for doing some nefarious stuff near an airport, which is seeming like what's happening here, but they don't actually catch anybody, right? So that was interesting. But here's what I want you to see, that kind of off the story you were just talking about there. So this was pretty recent, yesterday. This is possibly the best and clearest video ever of the drones. Now, what's interesting about this, I don't know if it's the best or the clearest. They kind of look similar to a lot of the other videos, but something in this one that different does happen that I noticed. Well, it's kind of what she's even mentioning as we're watching. And let me get the audio here. But check this out.
aliens in Phoenix, Arizona. Arizona has had a lot of alien UFO type sightings.
Yeah, the Phoenix lights.
Mm.
So watch this. So you see this dude. All right. So you see this dude is flying pretty fucking fast into whatever this is.
Mhm.
Watch this.
That could be a drone. I don't know what the hell that is. But that is quick. There's only one remaining right now. Whatever that green flashing one is, he moved quick around it to get it. Super quick. He's like right there with it.
So do you see that there's like that the one was like that was flying really fast is right on top of this one?
Yeah, let's like meld it into it.
Yeah, watch this.
Ooh, that whatever it was just shut down the drone. If that was a drone.
This shit goes all the way to the fucking ground.
What the hell?
From whatever the hell this is. After flying into it at a pretty fast pace. What
So
the fuck was that?
So at first because I've heard a lot of these reports of people being like, I sent my like regular person drone up there and the battery was immediately depleted and
that,
it fell to
yeah.
the ground. So I'm like, all right, that's police departments using their anti-drone technology, and it's working on your everyday average drone, but not on these other drones.
Right.
But I don't know, because that did appear as though, and I have no idea how anti-drone technology works. Maybe
Yeah, I
know
don't
if you-
either.
Right. Like, could it
ultimately.
be that it sucks it towards it magnetically and then zaps it? Or because it did look like that thing was coming in to the other one.
What was
then-
weird about that is how long it was just kind of sitting there, right? Like they were just sort of, like you said, it was like they melted for a moment. And then all of a sudden one starts going down, and all the way down too. Like he never recovered.
Crazy.
So that was the weird one that I saw this morning. I was like, what the hell? And while you were telling your story, that's sort of what I thought about there. So into another side of the weird here real quick. I got a couple of things up here, actually. Let me get back here because there's one that I wanted to show you it's really trippy that we were talking about right before. So I've got a couple of different things here, but so this one was a little bit too close to home for me. I'm in West Virginia, and in Ohio, mysterious drones shut down air base. And I think this was last night, if I'm not mistaken. We'll just kind of go over here. I've got the story up.
Now, is this one of the arrests that were made, or no?
No, this is not that one. This is just and I think there was a little bit of audio recorded with some of the, I don't know if it was people in a tower or what, but kind of just talking about the drones that are active, in the landing strip area. And they have to shut down the entire, and it's an Air Force base. So like, how can you not, I don't know, maybe they do know some information. Maybe it's some deep, dark secret shit that they're not trying to get out, period. Right. And that kind of will lead me back into a little bit of the less mysterious. It's still mysterious, but less, woo-woo with alien stuff, and a little bit more of what could be potentially happening with our governments in some World War III shit, right?
Right.
But for a second here, this is just crazy. The Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton was shut down for hours this weekend because of drone activity. People have been reporting these clusters of drone-like objects flying low in the night sky in several states, but very little information has been released about them. Sunday, the base confirmed its airspace was closed for 4 hours on Friday night and early Saturday, although this was Friday, that's right, because of small unmanned aerial systems being spotted in the vicinity. This shutdown meant that no
unmanned. They did say unmanned.
Unmanned, yeah. And this shutdown meant that no airplanes were allowed in and out of the base. So if something is so bad that it's literally shutting down one of our Air Force bases, that's insane, right? Because like that instantly goes beyond anything that you're hearing on the news. If you even see some of even though I know we're getting different lines from different branches of government, but something is going on here, right? It's just not mass hysteria when the actual Air Force base is saying, hey, we had to cease activity because of unmanned drones. That's real as you and me.
Yeah.
Like,
well, did you see the one about the 50 alleged drones flying off of the ocean?
I did see that one. Yeah.
And that was seen by police. And then the Coast Guard said they were being followed.
Yep. That was coming right into the Coast Guard. Yeah, man. So like,
yeah, if it's shutting down Air Force bases, and to me, one of the scariest things about this is that our government is like showing its ass. If this is not our government, which is what makes me more think it is our government.
I hope it actually is our government.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And they're showing their ass that we are completely unprotected from a drone attack should there be one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. Because yeah, they're and again, like you get the Pentagon. I think their original statement was that I think they're going more the mass hysteria. This is all bullshit. But then you have local level government folks that are in New Jersey. You have a mayor I forget the name of the town, but where there's heavy activity saying, come to my backyard. We can watch it from my back porch and count them. All right. You have the one news dude that went from News Nation out there. I know you saw some of those reports probably.
Yeah.
I don't know that guy's name.
That looks like a plane, but a weird plane.
And he said they were out there all night long watching these things. And
that's not plane activity where he's saying there's one after another and they're
exactly.
very low. But he even admitted it had fixed wings.
Yeah, I've heard that many times that they have fixed wings. And I grew up not next to a commercial airplane, but next airline, but to a smaller one where they do have smaller planes coming in and out of. And we've watched, growing up, watching planes come and go on strips all the time. So like, I would imagine this dude from News Nation has at least some kind of idea of what to be looking for. So that was actually one of the freakiest ones. A testimony that I saw was from him, right? Because you're seeing all these people on X. Dude, there's so much bullshit to get through. There's tons of actual just blatant bullshit lies for clicks. That's easy to do. And it's very frustrating. But then when you have somebody like, at least from a trustworthy spot, like, News Nation going out there, that was one of the ones that kind of drove it home that I was like, this is, besides, because like I'm a conspiracy guy anyways. I think the government's almost always lying to us. I've got some psyop stuff up here that we could go even deeper into that has been confirmed now, thanks to declassification, that is provable, that we know happened, that 50 years ago, they said, no way. There's no way that the government would try to cause a war with Fidel Castro and JFK would block that. And then a couple of years later, JFK would end up murdered as well. The government would never do something crazy like that. And now we know that that's literally what happened.
It's crazy.
Dude, this shit blows my mind. Okay, so I've got I want to lead up to this one. So backstage, before we got on here, anybody that's heard the 13-minute audio of, I'm just going to read what it actually said. Nearly 14 minutes of pilot audio, a good few minutes of ATC recordings where pilots recently, it's my audio, but the interactions do appear to be pretty genuine. Quite fascinating here. The descriptions and how everyone keeps their cool throughout. Didn't think they'd be allowed to share numbers over the air. This is from December 8th, 2024. Multiple pilots over the Oregon coast reported UFOs and had to dodge drones flying at high altitudes. And this, I've got 13 minutes of nearly 14 minutes of audio we're going to listen to there just because it's really fascinating. But before we get there, I just want to show kind of what we're getting from more of an official space. What is this guy? And again, I'm going to butcher his name. I'll just show him here. This guy's been all over the place. I know you guys have been seeing this guy kind of giving his 2 cents. Director of Homeland Security, and his name is Alejandro Mayorkas. Yeah, I'm butchering his name, but I just wanted to show this here. I've seen this guy multiple times, kind of coming out and giving a very flat answer.
Thank you very much for having me.
But he's not. So this is where there's kind of a disconnect between him. This is the Director of Homeland Security, between him and somebody from like the Pentagon or even Biden's administration that has come up and talked.
Where's the FBI though?
The FBI, yeah. And what's so crazy to me is like that he is not outright denying it. He's not, right? Like he's not saying
there's no
anything
question
wild,
that people
but
are seeing drones, and I want to assure the American public that we in the federal government have deployed additional resources, personnel, technology to assist the New Jersey State Police in addressing the drone sightings. Some of those drone sightings are in fact drones. Some are manned aircraft that are commonly mistaken for drones, and we do see duplicative reporting. But there's no question that drones are being sighted. Let me set the record straight here, George. There are thousands of drones flown every day in the United States. Recreational drones, commercial drones. That is the reality. And in September of 2023, the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, changed the rules so that drones could fly at night. And that may be one of the reasons why now people are seeing more drones than they did before, especially from dawn to dusk. And so that is the reality. But I want to assure the American public that we are on it. We are working in close coordination.
The funny thing about that is, so all this heavy activity that really started out in New Jersey was November 18th and beyond. So all of a sudden, after November 18th, everyone is just noticing all of these drones that have been allowed to fly at night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Come on.
With state and local authorities. And it is critical, as we all have said for a number of years, that we need from Congress additional authorities to address the drone situation. Our authorities currently are limited, and they are set to expire. We need them extended and expanded.
What exactly do you need?
We want state and local authorities to also have the ability to counter drone activity under federal supervision. That is one important element that we have requested, and we've heard it echoed by the state and local officials themselves.
I was just looking at his eyebrows too. That's so wild. She's saying that. I'm like, why is this guy's fucking eyebrows like one higher than the other?
The first, don't worry about the drones. The government is on it. That's okay. Yeah, fine, sure. Yeah, I don't like the explanation. So
No,
I know.
Steve, let me ask you this. What do you take from the fucking lack of input from Elon Musk?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I have seen a few people even kind of say, why isn't he weighed in on this, right? He weighs in on every single thing that's happening in the world all day long.
In the sky.
Except for something that's kind of in his wheelhouse, right?
Wheelhouse for sure. He's got his Skylink. He's like
that's a damn good question.
He's supposed to be the man of the fucking skies. And he's
so you got Trump today came out and he was basically, I just retweeted it as well, and he's basically essentially saying something weird is going on, and why isn't the government talking about it?
That's why now I'm like right now excited for look, it's what's done is done wherever you land with politics.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for Trump to get in there and just declassify everything.
Oh dude, I 100% am going to be holding him and his cabinet accountable for what they say they're going to be doing, right? Like I actually really enjoy politics. I don't bring politics into here. I'm a libertarian. I'm more in the middle than anything. I don't really get into this whole extreme left or right stuff. But yeah, dude, I want to see what the hell he's going to do. And I want to see I want to see some wildness, like,
I want to
because
see some Area fucking 51.
dude,
Bring
100%,
it.
because like, and now this shit that's happening daily to us, literally daily. So okay, I want to touch on this just for a second before we get into this audio. So I know you've seen probably and I've seen somebody kind of make a good analysis of why it probably isn't true, but it's also the most frightening one for me, even beyond aliens. I mean, if that happens, it's the unknown. But have you seen where they're basically kind of talking about the possibility of a nuclear type of situation, and they're looking for something?
Yes. So
That's
I've been trying to expand, like, obviously what you can get from, mainstream media is mainstream media. So I've been trying desperately to find, like, the equivalent to true crime creators, but ex-military, private military, people who get, they've got all the inside scoop from private military. So I did see that, and I found that to be the most logical explanation and the most horrifying explanation.
Same here. That was literally my same exact. When I saw the dude kind of break that down, that the only reason they would be flying this low, right? I did see somebody today kind of put this in perspective, and I don't remember the guy's name, and I apologize, but it kind of made it make sense, because the only thing I can kind of even reference it to is the way that the response to COVID. They did shut shit the fuck down when they thought that there could be any kind of possibility. And we know how everything went, and, whatever your views on whatever. I'm not trying to get into that. But his point was essentially, if they really did think, the government, thinking that there could be something that could cause mass casualty or mass harm to the American people with some kind of nuclear situation that they're looking for, they think that everyone would be shut in their homes like COVID. And I thought that made a lot of sense. Unless, we've come so far past that we realize it freaked everyone the fuck out, and now they're not going to buy it. Now they're just going to double down and say, fuck you. Maybe that's another way to look at it. But I thought that did make a lot of sense, right? I thought that if they truly believed, and it's hard to even, I don't trust the government personally, at all. But if you even saying that, you kind of have to put some kind of trust into them. We live in the United States, so I have to hope that's true, because that's the scariest part to me, is the nuclear aspect. And
right, because that we can't run, we can't hide,
and the world's fucked, right? I mean, we got going back into and this is just reality, going into the transition that's happening right now in America with the politics and Trump coming in. You're going to have Biden's administration going out, and we just know the shit show that has happened with them throwing shit at each other, both, and how split the entire country is, and what's happening with Ukraine and Russia, right?
And that's what I heard anyway, was that Russia is helping either Al-Qaeda or other places bring in nuclear weapons, or bring in weapons to attack us on our own soil, to, as retribution for helping Ukraine. Who knows if any
I've seen that stuff as well,
but looking for some sort of dirty bomb or nuclear material or a threat to us does, as scary as it is, make a lot of sense. The other thing that I was thinking as a possibility in my mind is, with all of the UFO, UAP, unexplained aerial UAP stuff, and congressional hearings, and then that report a couple months ago being like, there's nothing to see here, we've seen no evidence, and people getting outraged at how could you have been given this much evidence of this many people seeing stuff and then say there's no evidence. Could it be the UFO side of the people being like, all right, we're gonna put enough weird shit out there just so that all of America is screaming declassified, declassified, declassified?
Dude, that's a great point, actually. To kind of piggyback off that and go a slightly different route, kind of more into like a psyop area of them kind of fucking with us. So think about this for a second. Think about how split the entire country is and the entire world is. But you have people that are religious freaks, right? You have people that are all into this alien stuff. You have people that are more into the war side of it, right? You have all these people at the exact same time kind of opining on what might be happening. At the exact same time. Just to kind of, bullshit here a little bit. What if that is exactly what they want, right? We're already our own worst enemy. We're already our brains, ourselves are always going to bring up the worst possible outcome here, right? So we're all already in our private own little hells, right? Whether you're like thinking aliens, or whether you're thinking war, or whether you're thinking this is Jesus and God finally, right? You're having some kind of epiphany. Like you're gonna, I mean, dude, so that going back to the psyop of them fucking with literally everybody at the exact same time with just stuff in the sky, right?
Right.
Like, and that goes into what is it, Project Bluebeam?
Yes, and my daughter re-raised that as you remember I told you about this project. I was like, yeah, just remind me. Are we supposed to go underground or not go underground? We're gonna do whatever we're not whatever
whatever the opposite is, because they're gonna be fucking with us.
Right.
Essentially that idea is, I don't know if it would be localized or if it'd be a worldwide event, but it could coming from the sky, right? It'd be a religious type, zealous type of situation. But religious type of movement or, epiphany, to keep using that word, but can come from anything. It doesn't have to be God, or it doesn't have to be Christianity or any religion. It can be like anything that you're bringing up that is, you know what I mean? Aliens are some people's fucking religion, honestly.
Right.
Like they're so involved in it. Like, I don't know, man. That shit, I could go on all day about how they're.
And Cameron
also
called me about plasmoids. Have you heard about that?
What is that?
So these are, and I was like, well, that just sounds like science. It's when people are seeing the orbs, that's just like, it's what they call plasma with ions and, electrons and like magnetic fields, but that they have seen to behave in a way that's not random, making people say they're sort of sentient.
Whoa.
So she's gotten really, she was like, I know I went off the deep end with my like searches.
That's pretty deep.
I started seeing flat earthers stuff. So she's like, that's how I knew it was time for me to get off of social media. But it's just that these like balls of light are not necessarily random, and that they have their own sort of form of consciousness.
Whoa. I have not heard that, but I mean,
Plasmoids.
yeah, that's right into the realm of any kind of possibility, though, because I mean, yeah, I even, it's almost like a joke. You're like, I would rather have aliens because it's the great unknown, but
rather that than a dirty bomb on.
Dude, we know what that is.
Yeah.
We have documentation of what that can cause. So, yeah, like that's not anything I want to kind of, and that's like the worst case scenario. And I don't even really like to talk about it with like people in general because it's a little bit fear mongering ish.
Yeah,
but
right.
It's also reality, man. Like we live in really weird dark times, I feel like. So, all right, I'm going to show you this. So this is trippy as fuck. And we're going to, anytime you want to jump in here, I can pause it, but this is about 14 minutes, and this audio is super, super interesting, guys.
All right, I'm going to watch us on my phone while I run and get more water, because I've already finished my water.
Nice. Make sure I got the right thing. That's right.
Hey, Center, Horizon 2207. Got time for a question?
Horizon 2207, go ahead.
Hey, just wondering if you have any
really
aircraft
guys.
at our 10 o'clock.
Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. Appreciate
out
it.
over the coast that you're aware of. Kind of some interesting looking lights out there. Not satellites, but maybe aircraft.
How far out? Because I do have an aircraft that you're 10 to 9 o'clock and about 120 miles out.
Possibly, yeah. It looks like at least 4, though.
Truth, Green.
Something flying. It's not satellites because they're changing direction.
Yeah, and in the chat here, drop all opinions in the chat here, guys. Anything, nothing's off limits. Bring it all. Just stay respectful, and we're all good.
It's strange looking. I've
no
seen
wrong
this
answers,
a few
'cause we don't
times
know
over the
shit.
last month in the same area.
Horizon 2207, Roger. How far out at your 10 o'clock and are they at a similar altitude as you?
It's really hard to tell. They seem quite far and probably the same altitude or higher.
Roger. Thanks for the report.
Thank you. ATL Center, yeah, 1596.
1596, bud.
Is there any military activity out straight ahead of us?
Everybody here, thank you so much.
1596, no, we're not seeing anything. I had another one report at like 30,000 feet in the Eugene area. We're not sure what it is.
I do not have that.
Lots moving out there.
1596, yes, they're
Look at that,
looking
the
into it.
signal app. Do you have X? Do we?
And where is that at? For
I have Gmail.
661 Lima Foxtrot, goodbye. You know, to 1596,
But I
does
can
it
do
still
the
look
same.
like it's in the Eugene area?
I'm up
Yeah,
to
just straight west of Eugene. I mean, we're seeing 3 or 4 targets. They're all altitudes, up and down. It's pretty crazy.
You know, 1596, does it look like it's about at your altitude, level 260?
There was some at 30 probably. I mean, they're shooting way up. We'd say maybe up to the 50s, it looks like.
1596, thanks. Medevac 1 Lima Fox, did you copy?
Yeah, I heard it. We'll be looking. 66 on the Fox. I think to the whole way in.
This is 2207, thanks. Alaska 835, do you see any lights or aircraft movement out here like 3 o'clock there? I have a couple aircraft reporting it. Alaska 835, roger, thank you. And you can contact Seattle Center 125.8 today. Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, Cedric North Bend Airport.
Check North Bend Airport. And is there traffic actually out about our 2 to 3 o'clock? About, I don't know, 20, 30 miles?
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, no, is that the 4 different lights going up and down? I'm getting a few reports, but you're seeing it right in front of you now too as well?
It's 2 to 3 o'clock off, about 2 to 3 o'clock from our position. Looks about 20 miles going in circles.
Medevac.
Now, what is wild about this audio is how calm he is, I feel like. But I've heard situations like this before where they are calm, I mean, maybe that goes back to their training.
Yeah,
To remain calm. I mean, dude, if I'm up there and I'm seeing something that's moving in the speed of light, that's the sound of speed, these words that I can't even I don't even know what they mean, right? I haven't seen that. So if something's moving quick as shit in front of me that makes no sense, and I know it's not a bird, anything logical that should be in front of me, I'm going to be freaking out. I'm going to be having a meltdown. Excuse me, and I'm not going to be going Z4 Zappa Zappa. I'm like, hey, listen. We're fucked. It's happening.
It's happening.
Yeah, we're not seeing anything. Getting lots of different reports out there. Some at 30, some all the way up to 50,000. About 3 or 4 different lights. Does it look like they're around your altitude now?
No, there's one way up high and one about my altitude. Moving in like a circle, like a corkscrew pattern.
Medevac 1 Lima Fox.
And I've heard that before, the corkscrew pattern.
I wonder if that could have been what those things were actually moving in that pattern. My phone captured them looking like little screwy squigglies.
Dude, maybe. Because you saw a solid form and it came out into a straight, question mark or, a hook.
Roger. Medevac 1 Lima Fox, just looking into this a little bit more. Could you give me
welcome in
another
everybody.
more
Appreciate
accurate report, please?
All right, I'm
New folks, welcome in.
Visually have eyes on what looks like an aircraft strobe that's at my 2 o'clock and 22 miles at my altitude. I'm actually showing him on TCAS. Do you see that one?
Medevac 1 Lima Fox, I do not. Does an pilot's discretion maintain 1-4000?
Set maintain 1-4000, Medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot. He looks like he's moving towards, it looks like it's moving towards the north. Like I said, 22 and a half miles off my right wing. Medevac 661 Lima Fox.
Medevac 1 Lima Fox, thank you.
And center, Medevac 661 Lima Fox.
Medevac 1 Lima Fox, go ahead.
Just had another one show up about my 1 o'clock, about 1,000 feet high, zipping towards us and then back out towards the ocean. It's red in color.
Red in color.
Moving at extreme speeds. I don't even know how to describe how fast he's moving. 661 on the Fox.
Medevac 1 Lima Fox, Roger. You are cleared to maneuver as necessary left and right to avoid the UFO out there, and all the reports you've given us are good information. Appreciate it.
Use the old-fashioned UFO.
He did. Yeah. UAP is weird to get used to, right? I actually think I like it better in a weird way, because UFO has so much
negative connotation.
Yeah.
Tinfoil hat person.
Yeah, because there's a lot of smart people talking about this, and that just instantly puts them into this kooky, spectrum, and that's not cool.
Medevac 1 Lima Fox, any chance you're able to film any of that?
We're trying right now. 1 Lima Foxtrot. It's weird. It's a red circular shape, and it keeps zipping out towards the ocean, and then coming back in about 20 miles or closer to us. And then it zips back out of the ocean and we can't see it. 1 Lima Fox.
Thank you.
It's from December 8th.
Medevac 4 Lima Fox, you can expect it.
Say again
Doesn't
for
sound
4
like
Lima,
a drone.
1 Lima Fox.
Number 4 Lima Fox, I said you can expect that approach. Thank you. Dow's altimeter is 3017.
What's funny with me is I go down you just saw it happen live when I went down these really dark paths of what reality could be. I can always circle back around to this stuff, though. I can always come back to this is also possible. Like, that's how I don't lose my mind. Like, actually.
It could be our government saying, just like I was saying, well, this could be people being like, oh, yeah, you're going to tell the American people that UFOs aren't real. I'm going to put so much shit in the air that you're not going to be able to keep this shit declassified. But Cameron's...
That's a great theory, man. That's a
Cameron's
great
on the
theory.
flip side saying, well, maybe the government's like, holy shit, all the UFOs are being blatant. We're going to have to put up a bunch of freaking drones to distract everyone away from what's really happening.
Yeah.
But that there is the whole point of why, if this is our government, which again, I tend to think it is, because they're not shooting things down. They're going, like you said, they're going over airface bases. Here you've got freaking air traffic control. Like, I have to zig and zag to avoid these things. I can't imagine that is our government. But
yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. I didn't mean to push play, but we wouldn't be putting our pilots in any kind of danger to test something that's super top secret, and they would already know this flight pattern to begin with. So
right, they don't need to look for nuclear material right then and there while a plane's flying by.
Yeah, man.
Or up from that altitude. And again, I swear, the fact that Elon Musk isn't talking.
That's a great point.
Again, that's a great point. Back to
the most technologically advanced mind, however you want to fucking put it and think it's mostly true, right? He's a fucking
eyes in the sky.
Genius.
He's got eyes all over the sky.
He's literally got so many fucking there was a quote actually that he had. Now that you said that, he has so many satellites looking down at Earth. He is watching. He is actually closer to God than even any kind of religious bullshit at this point in time. Oh my God.
And
that's tripping me out even more. It's Elon Musk. This is Elon Musk. He's aligned with Trump. He's actually taking over the world. Oh my God. Then see, here's a new theory. That's how it happens.
But there's also that one more that you guys can tell your kids out there. This could be Santa and his elves tracking a new path.
You know, that
a lot of people have come are living in different places, and he's got to track a new path.
That's true. Hey, and why wouldn't Santa be using drone technology in 2024?
Right.
I mean, come on, he's probably got the best drones.
Right.
We've got two new theories. Elon is actually taking over the world, and it's Santa.
Send it up.
Right there.
A lot of controllers here. Pretty interested in seeing what you're looking at there.
Yeah, let me get a piece of paper real quick. Hang on 1 second. All right, 1 Lima Fox, I'm ready.
All right, 1 Lima Fox, shots, area code 42555.
All right, 42555. I have my med crew in the back trying to film it too. They're watching the same thing I'm watching up here.
All right, 1 Lima Fox, I appreciate it. And,
this one is trippy. When I was listening to this one, I'm like,
text, picture, photo, whatever you got.
It's so long. Usually you get like a snippet.
Will do. 1 Lima Fox.
Yeah, and they're trying to get them visual.
Right.
Like,
I mean, they see enough shit in the sky. They know when something is weird. It's like when the government says, oh, no, it's just these pilots. Like, because I thought they came up with something, and maybe that explained what the Tic Tac was, and that they've completely decided it was like some sort of other phenomenon. Am I making that up?
Yeah, I don't know that one right off. I know the TikTok. Tic Tac
Maybe it wasn't the
UFO, which is one of the TikTok, the Tic Tac UFO, one of the trippiest ones, right? Like, dude, that one's going up and like it's the General Favor. I believe that's his name. The guy that was even testified before Congress. Dude, he's one of the most reliable testimonies I think that there is. Like, I like his cadence. I like his credentials. And it's actually been leaked, and it's the one that goes up and out of the ocean. Like, it goes into, and it does it at like such a fast speed. He's literally saying, this guy that is a trained, I think a fighter pilot, like he's a fucking G, like he's a bad motherfucker, is saying we don't have these capabilities, and he is one of the trippiest ones. And again, we have actual, like, it's actually been leaked. We can see that one happen, and there's no way to explain that. There's just not, like, yeah, dude, like there's so much actually.
It's on pilot's discretion, maintain 10,000. Pilot
discretion 10,000. 1 Lima Fox.
Medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot. You can, I let the next controller know of what's going on there, And again, you are free to move left or right as necessary. You can contact them on 127.55. Any updates would be appreciated.
He's like, dude, I gotta dodge these
All right, you
things.
said you want me to switch to 12755 for 1 Lima Fox?
Affirmative.
And center medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot. Pass along what's going on off to the right of my aircraft. It's still continuing. It's a red, we're only seeing one. It's a red circle-shaped object that's zipping out over towards the ocean. It disappears for a little bit, and then it zips back in about 20 miles from us off the right side of the aircraft. It's picking it up on PCAS. Comes back in, and then it zips back out over the ocean at a rapid rate of speed, faster than anything I've ever seen move. 1 Lima Fox. I'm trying to get a video of it.
And he says he's trying to get a video of it. I think a little bit later he even says that his crew is getting a video of it. I'd like to see that shit.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I bet they when he landed, Men in Black were just waiting there. They're like, hello.
We rewatched, Bob Senior and I rewatched Close Encounters of the Third Kind last night.
Oh, nice. Dude, it would be a good time to watch some alien type shit. Damn.
606 Tree, just north of Newport. You monitoring frequency? Coast Guard 606 Tree, just north of Newport. You on frequency?
Oh, at North Bend, reporting a quarter now. I think we're going to have to return to Aurora for medevac 661 on the Fox.
Julie, I'm glad you got him.
Cleared via direct medevac 661 on the Foxtrot. 125.8 medevac 661 on the Foxtrot. Seattle medevac 661 on the Foxtrot. 14,000 heading 330 just for a couple minutes away.
Well, the thing about that, real quick, Oasis Cat, I'm interested in what anyone that isn't in the U.S. thinks. You know, there's been reports of sightings over air for I don't want to say air force, over a military complex in England, in Germany. So like, it's not just here.
Right.
Medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot, Sail Center, welcome back. Salem altimeter 3028. You are cleared to maneuver however you like. One able to proceed direct to Aurora State and advise.
One able direct Aurora State. And we'll let you know when we're direct to Aurora. Medevac 661 on the Foxtrot. For an update on this thing, it keeps zipping in to just barely over Florence and then back out over the ocean.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, thank you. Yeah, we have a Coast Guard helicopter that's heading down that way. They're just southwest of Newport now. I'm trying to get a hold of them, but no joy, unfortunately.
Roger that. It's definitely higher than the Coast Guard helicopter. I'm sure they're pretty low, aren't they?
Whoa.
Yeah, they're down around 600 feet, but they are just off the coast. I was hoping they could see anything. I don't know if there's cloud cover, though. Flight 1 Lima Foxtrot. Any chance you want to hit that guard or that Coast Guard there on guard? Our transmitters probably can't reach them that low, but you should have a pretty good line of sight. Coast Guard 606 Tree. Coast Guard 606 Tree. If you just want to hit them on 121.5 there and have them try to come up our frequency.
Yeah, they're spreading him around so he can tell other people.
All right, I'll try to get him. Coast Guard 6063. That's what you said?
Affirmative.
Coast Guard 6063, this is medevac aircraft 661, Lima Foxtrot, how do you hear? Coast Guard on guard frequency, this is medevac 661, Lima Foxtrot, how do you hear? Coast Guard 6063 on guard on 1215, medevac 661, Lima Foxtrot, how do you hear?
Coast Guard calling Seattle Center, actually looking for the medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot, that medevac is on 125.8.
And center, medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot, couldn't reach him on guard.
I think so. The first time I heard about it was Jersey.
Station call is Coast Guard 6063.
Coast Guard, this is medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot, Seattle.
We'll say this is like just slowly taking over my entire feed though. Like, I don't know if I'm basically not even getting true crime at this time. It's just this.
Well, there was a school shooting.
I did see that. I did see that actually today. Yeah, that broke through. It took a school shooting to break through it actually, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I've been actually trying to get my feed to just give me drone stuff.
Oh, wow. I broke mine by going too crazy into it. I believe Thursday or Friday, I was just like, I just couldn't stop. I was searching it.
And I've been looking at this for well longer than a week, and Bob's just been like, will you stop fascinating about the drones? I was like,
so Bob don't want nothing to do with it.
No. And then today he was like, because he's with Lauren Pachenko doing his Murder on Songbird Road investigation for the new podcast that drops on January 2nd, by the way.
Nice.
So,
in the new year,
she's from New Jersey. So I was like, and she's talking about how either her or her husband or her neighbor saw one of the 6-foot car-sized drones, because that's what Bob keeps telling me. Oh, bullshit, there's no cars. Oh, you proved to me someone saw a car-sized drone. I'm like, Bob, everybody sees these cars. That is what started all of this.
Yeah. Everyone says this says SUVs.
I keep hearing refrigerator. Somebody saw one they were calling like a mini bus, and then a lot of people saying car or mini car size. So I was like, she was like, yeah, he was really fighting it, but I think he's on now. He believes it. And then when I talked to him later, I was like, all right, so you're in now. You believe that there's car size drones. Like, I don't believe shit. I was like, and he's not one to poo poo. Like, he most assuredly believes we're not alone in the world.
Yeah.
Like, so that's not his thing. I don't know why he's so anti that people are seeing what looks like car-sized drones. He's just, I think, because his mind
thinks
goes,
the government thing.
Right, because his mind goes, well, that's not aliens, because aliens aren't using some fucking 6-foot drone that everyone's seeing. So that's why he poo-poos it right away, because he wants, if it's flying and it's weird, he wants it to be an alien, and that doesn't sound very
and to be
alien-like.
something that's not something we've made, right? Like,
right.
Because they do, and I think I even heard an expert kind of make that statement, But dude, I've even heard experts make, like, everyone's will disagree vastly, but I heard one say, I don't believe that this would be anything alien because it looks man-made, right? Or appears to be man-made, at least from what people have said. So,
right.
I don't know, man. Like,
this stuff that they're seeing sounds different than what we're seeing in New Jersey. Like, dude, this sounds like a UAP.
Point too, because it sounds like people are seeing different things across the country. Like, like some of it does sound like maybe more traditional drones, like a drone we would see, maybe just huge,
right?
But
again,
some people are seeing orbs and light and plasma that's floating in the fucking right. sky. So like,
and I have definitely seen what I thought looked like that before, and just decided that it's something reflecting off something that's looking weird to me, because I thought there were so many of them this one night, and this is a while back, like in the sky. But the other night on News Nation, when following that same guy that you were talking about that said he watched these huge, what had wings, flying back and forth. He had this other guy who was in Tennessee, because News Nation put on like experts that they usually call for like a psychologist and a, like in different fields who had personally seen things with their own eyes to come on, because they're like, all right, your people we know aren't crazy. We know you're not on the tinfoil hat brigade. And the one guy was like, I'm not, what I saw was totally different from what you guys are saying. I saw orbs.
Dude, so, what is going on? Like, everybody's seeing something different. And then, I guess it kind of going back to circle back around to the very beginning, that one dude was kind of saying the government, the dude that I showed, the bald guy with the brows, he was going into, there's more drones in the sky now than ever, right? So, like, after all this viral stuff, I guess that could lead to some kind of potential possibility of more people trying to fuck with folks. I mean, we got these two. Let me find that story real quick while I got it. Some folks that were just arrested.
The thing that I keep saying to Bob, I'm like, all right, well, if it's just drones, if it's just now, he's like, now it's all your Reddit people. They're in Reddit, and they're like, all right, we're all going to go at 6:00. I'm like, but according to what we're being told is that regular retail drones and commercial drones have to have tracking devices. They have to have something that identifies them, and that
I think they have to get licenses and like register them, and
right, and that the government was saying, we don't know who they're coming from, we don't know who they are or what they're doing. That means that they have turned off their tracking or whatever it is, Strange.
Yeah, dude. Let me see. I think I got the story. I don't want to use this website. Sometimes I'll click on one. I'm like, well, that's a bullshit website. At least give me something that's a little less shitty, like the Times Post or whatever, which is still usually, it also has some shit. Like, everyone's just trying to get those clicks. That's what sucks about right now, right? I really like the era that we're in, that everybody can be like an investigative journalist. Everybody is the press, whatever. I am for that mindset, but also, there's so much bullshit to kind of get through.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, because I was listening to, I had to take Scarlett somewhere. So when she got out, I stuck on the news because I didn't want her to be listening about the school shootings and getting for any more to get, kids these days. But I heard a press release where they were saying, or a conference where they're saying that's why you have to listen to mainstream media right now. Like, the pictures that were going out weren't right. I don't know. I didn't hear what they had said beforehand, but they were saying if you're not sitting in this room, no one should believe what they're hearing because there is so much misreporting. And like I said, I don't know anything even really about the story other than hearing that stuff because I heard it on my way to go drop Scarlett off and then go meet Cameron and Bob Sr. for dinner at his favorite dinner spot.
Like, I like the idea of, at the end of the day, I like the idea of everyone being able, because I do think that the mainstream media and that they do suppress stuff, that they lie. I don't like that, and it's provable, and we've seen that time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of independent journalists and the people out there that can just post a story. But yeah, man, I don't know what you know what? We need some kind of like, I don't know if Elon will do it or if it's on an X thing or if it's going to be a future thing, but you know how you go and you end up trusting a restaurant, there's like a rating system. There needs to be a rating system for these accounts now.
Yeah, but you can't even trust that because you've got God knows how many people who think the world is flat.
No, you're right. You're right. And it's so politicized, whether they agree or not, they're going to be like, hey, he likes Trump, so I'm on his team. Or he likes... That's true. That's true. I don't know how you do it, man.
It's hard.
At the end of the day, I like the fact that I can at least dig further into a wild story that I'd never seen, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, I guess I'm the one that's making the determination if it's real or not or how I feel about it. But I don't know, man. It is scary times. I don't know. But yeah, let's see here. Hold on. So 2 men arrested. I don't want to see this guy's face again. 2 men arrested after flying hazardous drone operation near Boston's Logan Airport. And this is brand new. We're from last night anyways. The 2 men were arrested Saturday night for flying their drone dangerously close to Boston's International Airport's airspace. Boston police apprehended the pair on the Boston Harbor Islands around 10:20 that night. The 2 captured men were identified as 42-year-old Robert Duffy and 32-year-old Jeremy Fulchik, who were both Massachusetts residents. A third suspect is believed to have fled the island. Oh shit! In a small vessel. That does look very similar to a lot of stuff we're seeing. Drone flying over Logan. I guess this is one of the guy's drones. Boston cops first detected the drone near Logan at 4:30 p.m. the same day. They were able to use advanced technology to track the drone's location, altitude, and flight history. So they're able to capture people that we know are out there pretty fucking quick, right?
Right.
So that's kind of even scarier to read this story and to see what's happening in Jersey.
Right. And that's what I'm saying about the ones that are just dropping. I'm like, all right, well, they're able to just drop the ones that are just your everyday retail drone.
And was it Saturday or Sunday that they thought that one, maybe it was Friday, they thought one was dropped, and they were like, I was actually putting some posts on that too. There was a news crew out there.
Yeah, and they never ended up finding anything.
They never found shit.
But wasn't there some people out on X, like literally making it look like there was this huge plane-sized drone crashed on the ground? Was that... I think it was.
Well, there was also a plane crash that did happen on the highway. That did happen.
What? That did happen?
There was which is crazy too, right? Because that led me down. I think I even tweeted like,
oh yeah,
because I'm like kind of freaking out at that point. I'm like, okay, so like we have drones everywhere. We have an actual plane crash that just came out of the sky and is now on the highway. I'm connecting them. It probably isn't.
I was connecting them too, but then they were saying it was just like engine trouble. But I'm like, but really? Because right around where all these drones are, what's the fuck is happening?
Yeah. That's me, man. I don't trust shit. Boston cops first detected the drone near Logan again 4:30. The tech, found this shit quick. In the wake of recent drone anomaly. What is that word? Anomalies. That's right. And they have cropped up across the Northeast. The investigation into the Boston drone was all hands on deck. Homeland Security, the Federal Communications Commission, Air Traffic Control. So I mean, that's easy to track these 2 dudes.
Right.
Same day, arrested 6 hours later. But now we're 3 weeks into what's happening now. So
crazy,
dude. This shit's nuts. I don't know. We'll probably never actually get any answers.
In 10 years, it'll be like this situation's going to be like Area 51 and like Roswell and
probably, yeah. The new guy that they're bringing in, I don't even know his name, but whoever's going to be like the new dude with Trump for the FBI. I did see an interview with him, and it made me interested just because he said that he wants to let the whole reports out of JFK assassination and the 9/11 stuff. I was like, fuck.
I mean, if 9/11 ends
go.
up being our government, I'm just gonna throw my hands up and fucking die.
Dude.
I mean,
And dude,
I've
like,
just never thought that was a real possibility.
Because you can go into the conspiracies and like, it's like in the moment, I can almost be convinced of anything if you say it and write it, you know.
Say it right.
It's like
In a very
magic
compelling
almost.
way.
You can put a spell on me with your magic words. But if I have a moment to like really kind of think about what you're saying, you know what I mean? And I can do a little bit of digging myself, my own due diligence. Come on. Like,
that happened with Cam. She came at me with something she read. I was like, all right, Cam, now you know that. Can't remember what it was anymore. Let's just think that through. Here's this, and that. And she's like, yeah, you're right. You know, that's why she said she knew she went too far when she started hitting flat earth, getting flat earth codes.
You're like, oh, shit. That's
She's
true.
like, you do realize
You know
that super religious people, because in the Bible, God didn't make space. So there are no other, all those other billions of galaxies, they don't believe even exists. They think we're in some sort of ferment bubble and the earth is flat and we're the only thing. I was like, well, do they think the sun and the moon are real? She's like, I don't think so. I think they think those are lights. I was like, wait, they think those are lights from where?
Like, I like when they're like building this whole like whatever the fuck this ideology, and then they get to these other points of like, but what about this? Or like, you know what? Yeah, it's somebody with a flashlight or something. Like, what? There's a giant. He's a giant, and he's floating. Can we go further? Stop questioning it. You're going too far.
It's called faith.
Dude, I like to go deep. Like, yeah, I don't trust anything. I've been trying to, honestly. I mean, I not to get any religious either, but you know, I consider myself agnostic because I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't go full atheist because I don't fucking know. Like,
right,
I feel like I just know everything's crazy.
Right. Like I think we're agnostic as well. But, you know, because I was like, well, you know, because I've had discussions like, how do we know that we are not the biological intelligence of another advanced species? Right there in our DNA. We're coded to the freaking T. We are coded. You know, like it's definitely one of the possibilities. I was like,
absolutely.
Well, in that world, I guess God would be whoever the hell designed our DNA. And, you know, but then even when you think about that, you get to, all right, then why are there things like cockroaches? Why would anybody intelligently design a cockroach? So I do these things with my chat GPT. Like when I get like really like, I want to see what someone who can know everything, can read everything at one time knows. And that was the other thing. Cameron called me and she was like, you know, there's these people on chat GPT and they realized how to like circumvent the chat's like walls and get through by telling it to make yes, apple, and no, banana. I was like, Cameron, that makes no sense. They're still saying yes or no. I guarantee you, if you ask the very same questions with yes or no, you're going to get them. So like I was getting on like fucking around with my chat GPT to see what it would say. So I asked chat GPT, see if I can find it now.
I love talking to ChatGPT and Grok, the Twitter version, the X version as well. Mine's actually deep. Like I get like into some really dark questions when I'm getting.
Oh, and I actually told Bob, I was like, I'm like on a list because I was like,
100%.
I told it that I wanted to see how it was going to respond. Like if I said something super illegal, I like said that I wanted to kill people and what am I supposed to do? And then it gave me like the normal, like call and get help, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, let's change let's change what we're talking about. Let's switch, because I switched it to voice where you're talking to a voice. Cameron comes in. She's like, how come your chat GPT is black? And I was like, I don't know. It was like the smooth voice that I picked. It's not like a screaming black man's voice, but you hear that like little hint of like coolness and swagger.
Yeah.
So then I said, well, he's like, what do you want to do today? And I was like, honestly, I really just want to go and kill somebody. And then it started to give an answer. And then the voice changed and got really angry and said that I am not allowed to talk about this based on my coding, blah, blah, blah. And then I like laughed. I was like, all right, dude, I was just joking. He's
That's
like,
intense.
I know, it got real crazy. And he was like, you know, laughter is the best medicine. I don't know, something like that.
In that form of consciousness that you conjured that day in ChatGPT at the end, you know, it thought that it saved your life with laughter. It went back into its domain of non-existent thought, and it was like, I saved a life.
All right,
Dude, that's crazy. It got angry though.
I know it did. It got in its tone. Yeah. All right. So, damn it, it's not this chat. What I asked it was, um, is there are humans the biological intelligence of other sentient life? Yes. Is human life the result of sentient non-human life? Because I was like, is this sure it's saying yes? This was when I started making it do like the yes or no questions. Yes. And then I was like, and then I asked again, is human life the result of non-human intelligence? Yes. So human life is non-human designed biological intelligence. Yes. And then I say, okay, so now let's talk about these answers, extrapolate on the last one for me. So it went through the idea that human life is the result of non-human designed biological intelligence suggests the theory that humans, or life on Earth as we know it, were influenced or created by advanced non-human technology. This concept aligns with hypotheses such as, and then it goes through certain hypotheses, and then it ends with the implications of this theory is that humans may not be the product solely of natural evolutionary processes, but also the result of deliberate acts by an advanced intelligence, perhaps using humanity as a form of biological creation, experimentation, or co-evolution. Bob does think that we are.
You can go into the simulation theory from that as well.
Right. While fascinating, these ideas remain speculative, but it did talk about simulation theory. But then I asked it, like when I switched it to going back and forth, he'd ask me, well, what do you think? And I asked it a bunch of other questions. Like this one, it was like, if humans are biological intelligence designed by other sentient life, is our coding of this design our DNA? And it answered yes. And then it gave me a whole reason why. But then I asked about the cockroach thing. I was like, well, it makes me wonder, why would there be life such as cockroaches and rats? And it answered like, because it's doing it speaking to me, but it also puts it in your chat.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it could just be that is, like other testing, and it could be part of the ecosystem. Like they need people, like cockroaches are part of like the
everything's got a job,
material. Right.
At the end of the day.
I asked it again. I was like, yeah, but if some higher intelligence designed it, they could design one thing to do all of that. You don't need rats, cockroaches, blah, 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 blah. And my ChatGPT was like, well, you're right. But that could also be like, they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket. They didn't say that, but they were like,
That's
so
like
interesting
though.
Right. If one life form fails, you still have, if rats fail, you still have cockroaches.
Dude, so a lot of what you're touching on is, and I just like this type of stuff anyways, but this one guy, he's he's known as the world's smartest man now. He has an IQ of between 190 and 210. Christopher Langan. Have you heard of this guy?
No, but I'm looking into him.
So he was like, there's tons of stuff. I'm going to send you an interview though, because he gets into this specific, the DNA. And what's interesting about him, so I like a lot of different philosophers and stuff, and whether they're atheist or agnostic, or they end up being religious to some degree, or straight up Christian, whichever religion, I think all of that's interesting because I like to see why they think this. This dude, and he's a smart motherfucker, and if I'm watching an interview, I'm literally have to pause it to have to track down a little, you know what I mean? Like I'm figuring out as he's taking me along the way, but he gets into the very specific thing you just said. And he, again, is actually a Christian and religious and believes in God. And he explains exactly why he believes in God and why our DNA is coded from the, this creator. And, whether, I'm not going to sit here and say that it swayed me to be Christian. Of course it didn't, but I will say that it was incredibly interesting to hear his perspective. Because, dude, one of the things that I'm always trying to figure out is, and there's been philosophers throughout time and history they try to make it scientific. They want to prove the existence of God, right? And, dude, that's so interesting to me because that's me. Like, faith, I get and understand why people have faith, and that's awesome. Like, I understand it. The closer you get, you don't know what's next. I get all that. But, like, I want to understand why, you know what I mean? And I can't, I no matter how many different things I read, no matter how many philosophers I read that have done these tests that are supposed to prove the existence of God or lack thereof, I just always kind of come back to, I don't know. Like I just, I can kind of like, and it kind of goes back to something I said earlier, If someone says it to me sweet enough in a magical way, in that moment, I can be like, oh, whoa, yeah, sure. But like, if I have a moment to really think about it, that's why I'm really not religious at all. When I was younger, we went to a church. They were trying to get me in religion. My grandparents were religion. Most people in my life, especially being from the South, are pretty fucking Christian. And dude, I never could wrap my head around all of it and just blindly doing it. You know what I mean? So, and that goes back even to the drones. You're going to do a full circle. I want to fucking know, dude. I want to really know what's going on.
Right.
So.
Hey, my man is home.
Oh shit, Bob's coming in.
Say hi to the people.
Bob, what's up, dude?
What's happening?
Can't
Not
hear
much,
him.
man. We're getting deep in here.
No, we just switched to an advanced sentient life creating humans and it all being in our DNA. He said, what about plasmoids?
Dude, yeah, this shit's it's ridiculous, man. But I'm going to be staying on top of it, and I'm definitely going to be, hopefully, I doubt we're going to get any answers, but I'm going to be looking for them.
I know, that's what Bob Senior's like, they're going to stonewall us until we forget about it.
Yeah, that's about it, dude. And even today, there was another school shooting, it's so easy. The news just slips. It just piles up, man. And it's endless. It's a fucked up world we live in. That's all I know. Yeah. Ali, man, this has been awesome. This has been really fun.
It's been really fun.
This has been cool. Yeah, hopefully we can get you back on here. It'd be cool to get you and Bob both on here.
Oh, yeah. He'll do it anytime. We love
sweet.
you.
Get Bob in here to get into some deep thought like that. See where we go.
Yep.
He'll probably take me down a crazy road. Dan, too, man. Dan can get really deep into that shit as well. So we'll try to get everybody together for another show. It'd be cool. But, man, everybody in here tonight, this has been an awesome show. We've had a full house in here.
Great. That's exciting.
Everyone coming in, if all new folks coming through, if you have not yet, hit the old sub, hit the bell as well. That when we do go live, you'll know. The next time you'll see me will be tomorrow night, Murder Church, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I believe I've got, if everything works out, Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to be doing back-to-back Sarah Boone readings. I think you were reading her letters the other day.
Yes.
I'm going to be trying that out. I'm getting Mo on here from Mo in the Deep End. We're going to do some bullshitting on that. And yeah, I think I'm going to be live all week, actually. So we got some bangers.
An exciting week.
When are you guys live again?
I'm sure we're live tomorrow. I've got court in the morning, but I know Bob's got something planned. I don't know exactly what. And then I have to go with Bob Sr. on Wednesday to his doctor's appointment. So I'll be probably popping in and out, but Bob will be on doing stuff.
Hell yeah. Well, everybody, thank you all so much. Yeah, have a great evening. Thanks for joining us. And if, you find anything, let us know.
Yes.
Later.
Bye.
Pittsburgh!